We have problems out there in the world today. No question about it. So how are we going to make the change?
Philanthropy is all about the heart and what means most to you.
Doing well by doing good is my philosophy. That means you can create a great venture, and if the venture can do good, that becomes a philanthropic venture from my perspective.
It takes a while to find out what you're really interested in and what you really want to do.
My family has always been very philanthropic. We've always been taught to give back.
I grew up with a sensibility that education was far and away the most important thing one could focus on.
I went to Brown University, but my mom said I couldn't be an artist because I'd starve. So now I try to marry my art and my business by designing properties and stuff.
A lot of the greatest mistakes are always made in the first 6 months because we want to be impulsive and emotional. Two things you never want to be in business and philanthropy.
My philanthropy suffered a grave setback when I was accused of a crime, and my personal fortune was greatly diminished.
As you change, your interests and your desires in philanthropy change. I think you have to be open to that change.
We really want to create a change, and this is not about me, Donna, Karan. This is about the we.
We used to have a mindset, once you've kind of given the money, your responsibility is done, and I think what we've learned is it's really kind of starting at that point.
I couldn't imagine dressing people without addressing the issues.
The best thing you can ask them is to give their time. Instead of asking them to give half their money, if they can make a pledge to give 30% of their time, the world would be a better place.
You've got to make the right choice, but then you have to make sure it really is implemented and it produces the results you were hoping, and if not, what have you learned and what are you going to do different?
If you're still young and active, I think that the money certainly can help any situation. But I think what you want to do is maintain, long-lasting impact, positive impact.
Money is the best way to sort of help in philanthropy. I mean, you can spend your time, you can do this, you can do that, but it all comes down in the end to how much money can be invested in a cause to make a difference.
We need a humility and a real appreciation of the complex adaptive nature of the problems we face if we as philanthropists want to possibly start changing the underlying factors that are driving the systems we see.
The challenge is to try to make a permanent impact other than providing Band-Aids with just a little money here.
My grandfather, my bar mitzvah, and there's not all that much that I remember at my bar mitzvah, but I do remember exactly what my grandfather said. When you leave, let men be glad you came. And that is his way of saying, make a difference. You're here for a short period of time. So you want to leave making the world better than when you showed up in it.
We can build businesses, global businesses. We restructure them. We buy them and rebuild them.
And if you can go provide access to education and healthcare to billions of people around the world, and if you happen to make $1 billion profit, my hat's off to you. That's a great venture, and that's what we want people to do, is not to separate doing well from doing good, because you can do both, and that's how you create scalable, sustainable change.